Hello and welcome. If you would please put your palms together for a meditation reading. A person pondered on the old saying, keep your mind level. If the mind is level, all the myriad landscapes of the world will be level. Realizing that all the distinctions that we make in this world is a simple result of our own mind's prejudiced way of looking at things. He was able to gain enlightenment. Indeed, the ways to enlightenment are unlimited. A saying from the teachings of the Buddha. If you would please put your palms together in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Have you ever been to a horror movie? And when it came to that part, the first thing we did was we closed our eyes, or we kept one eye open just to watch it. Or in my case, my sister would always fall asleep in a movie. And when she'd wake up, she'd want to know what happened. But when I tell her what happened, that's a subjective view. That's my view of what happened. Unless I could be very verbatim, exact play-by-play scene scenario of what was happening. But it comes out subjective. And so what we hear from other people is subjective. They may, in their honesty, be telling the truth. But because of our interpretation, it's very subjective. And listening to the teachings of Buddhism is subjective. It's subjective on the part of the person presenting the teachings, as well as your interpretation of what is being said. Okay? So my question to you is, how do you hear the teachings? How do we hear it to clear that confusion we have, or try to get a deeper understanding? How do we hear? Well, there are various ways of hearing and knowing, and that's through study. Study, you ask? And it's, yes, what we hear, we study what we hear. We take the part we like, and then we shove the other parts somewhere else deep inside. So maybe one other day we could use it. But you ask, where do we go to learn? Well, we learn from other people. We learn from books. We learn from listening openly, with compassion, and searching for the answers that we want to know. Yet, how many times do we shut out what other people are saying? Think about it. How many times during this short message are you turning your ear somewhere else? There are so many questions, and those questions lead to another question. into another question. But that's what Buddhism is. We come as we are, asking questions, seeking answers. Answers that will only lead into other questions. But that's good. Why? Because it makes us think. It makes us to listen and to truly hear, where we can figure things out for ourselves. It's also, those questions also give us the question of, who are we? What are we? Why am I such and such kind of person? It makes us think. It makes us look within ourselves, searching within ourselves for answers that we can only have. We begin to discover parts of our true self when we question ourselves. We can question what our blind passions are. Where is this blind passion of greed, anger, ignorance, and ego comes from? Can we question if we can put those things aside and we can be our true selves. We will have moments of discovery of who we are. And that is called the aha moment. That moment of enlightenment where we can see it so clearly. And then ego comes in the way. And it's gone. But we've had a taste. We've heard. We truly listened. And we are always ready for that next drop of knowledge or wisdom. So what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is a realization of little bits of wisdom that we can take and we can actually use in our actions of everyday life. It is searching within ourselves to find out who we are, what we are, where are we going. And you know, it's not an instant thing, it's baby steps. It starts out with coming to temple. It comes with truly sitting and getting over the fright and listening to the teachings. And maybe the next step would be questions. You know, we love questions. Because what we will do is give you an answer, but then ask you another question. So you do a deeper thinking, deeper search within yourselves. Because no one can truly answer these questions without being subjective. And just to know that the Buddha's compassion and wisdom surrounds us all the time. We don't have to be afraid of asking those questions that are important for us to grow. And we have Nembutsu, Namu Amidabutsu, to give us pause, to let us breathe, to let us soak in what we've heard and what we've learned. And it's also a way of showing our appreciations for the teachings that are given to us, no matter how subjective they can be. Because everything is subjective. And we pick out those parts we like that really can give us strength and support. Namo Amidao. Thankfulness and gratitude for the teachings that are there for us. But we are the first to take the steps. And as I said before, when we start to learn what our true self is, we get a little bit of enlightenment, wisdom to ourselves, within ourselves, to know ourselves. So that next time, maybe that little bit of wisdom keeps adding up. And one day, when we really want that strength, that support, we can look within ourselves and know that we are stronger than we really think we are. We have the teachings to guide us, to give us direction. So basically, teachings is a seed. Take that seed, we add a little bit of facts, figures, explanation. We water it, and pretty soon that seed grows. And pretty soon it wants more. It wants more knowledge, it wants more learning. And that's where we take that step to nourish that learning, to nourish that knowledge. But it's okay if we can't remember them. It truly is. Because somewhere deep inside our hearts and minds, we carry the teachings within ourselves. So if you would please put your palms together in Gasho. I'm going to turn. Namo Amidos. Namo Amidos. Namo Amidos. Namados. Namados. Namados.